This morning I'm in James chapter 3, verses 3 through 4. We read this: "If we put bits into the mouths of horses so that they obey us, we guide their whole bodies as well. Look at the ships also. Though they are so large and are driven by strong winds, they're guided by a very small rudder wherever the will of the pilot directs." And so you've got this little tiny bit weighing, a few ounces, and it can control 1,000+ pound horse. And you've got a tiny little rudder and it controls a great big huge ship. And so that bit controls that horse only if the rider is pulling on those reins. And a rudder won't steer correctly unless there's a captain or a pilot who's turning that wheel. And because the tongue has such power to influence every part of our life, we have to learn to direct it properly. We have to take responsibility for it. Proverbs 18 verse 21 tells us that death and life are in the power of the tongue. And so we have this huge responsibility to be very careful with our words and what we say. And so the application is this: we know we'd be better off if we said less and thought about every word. But how can we do this? Well, I think of this little phrase: think before you speak. And that word think is an acronym. So think stands for, is what you're about to say, is it T, true? Is it H, helpful? I, important? Is it N, necessary? And K, kind? Is it true, helpful, important, necessary, kind? And if it fits in that criteria, then by all means go ahead and say it. But if it doesn't, you're probably better off just not saying anything. And so my prayer is this: it's really simple. Lord, fill my mouth with worthwhile things and nudge me when I've said enough. Amen.